So in our final chapter of this Madhouse Knife Only guide, the main thing we're going to be covering we call Sullivan skip. Okay? It is what me and my chat have dubbed the skip that allows us to trap both Fat and Molded at the end of the mines. Before this trick was discovered, there was already a way to trap one of them. So the old strat was you trap the big one and then kill the small one. And the small one, before we'd ever discovered Sullivan skip, the small one was named Sullivan. Okay? So when this was discovered, it was the glitch that allowed you to skip killing Sullivan. That is why it's called Sullivan skip. But it is, you know, its scientific name would be the double fat molded skip at the end of the mines on Madhouse Knife Only. Okay, so before we do the gauntlet run to get to them, let's just talk about it a little. It comprises of getting one of them molded to clip through the ramp. You will see the ramp, and then they just get stuck. Okay. Upon getting one of the molded stuck, you lure the remaining molded, over to the original trap spot. Remember when I said the original strat was you trap one and then kill the other? Well, after you clip one of them inside the ramp, you bring the other one to that original trap. And if you do that, both will be trapped. It saves at least 20, maybe 30 seconds over the OG strat. And I think it's even, to be honest, I think it's even more consistent. Though you wouldn't think that if you saw my world record, because I mess up so bad on it, it goes so horribly wrong, that I just say screw it, and I go back and I do the original strat in my world record, and I lose 1 minute and 30 seconds to that, and it's still world record. So, you know, if anyone wanted to see if they could beat my record by 1 minute and 30 seconds, there you have it. But before we do any of that, we gotta get through the gauntlet. Gauntlet's not hard, it's just you can get sucker punched. Let's do it. First thing to note here, we're switching to 30. And it might not look like it, but there's actually 2 guys spawning in front of you. It took me a while to even realize this. So you can't just strafe way... If you run straight, you'll get stuck on the molded spawning out of the ground in front of you, okay? But if you strafe way less... if you strafe way left, there's a molded spawning a little to the left, and he will very likely sucker punch you. So you kind of just want to go slightly to the left. Okay, that's your best bet. You can still get sucker punched. Let's do it. Run by this guy. And we keep going. And we run by this guy. Now, there's something I definitely have to talk about here. Okay, so for this part, there is a molded in this next tunnel that we need to get around. And we do that by... He doesn't start actually moving until you take your a foot. You put your foot in the tunnel. So we pop into the tunnel for like half a second and then leave. And then we start running in a big loop-de-loop with all the molded trying to kill us. And this is all to buy time to make the other molded in the tunnel come out of the cave. Note, I have done some research in seeing if I can just bum rush right through this guy in the tunnel. And I've had not enough results to actually use it in a run. But I will say like 3 to 5% of the time, he is in some really jank animation where he's tilted to the right of you, left of you, and you can just run right through him on 30 FPS. Okay, but it's so rare that it's just not worth it because, okay, so 3 to 5% of the time you get right through him, and that saves probably 10 seconds or so. Okay, but that other 97% of the time you die. Okay, so it's not exactly there to use in a speed run yet. But if you want to do research yourself, I would say that's a pretty good avenue to start. Find a way to consistently get through that guy, and that's a 10-second time save. So knock yourself out. It's this guy right up there. So we pop in, make sure that he starts walking. And now we do a big loop-de-loop. And he walked out, so now we go in. So that loop-de-loop wastes about 10 seconds. That's why I'm saying it saves 10 seconds. And it only saves 10 seconds if you go right through him. So here, I like to strafe, and then do that, and he goes right around you. Again, my looking to the left as he walks by you strat. Classic. No sucker punch, which is good. Now this guy, you want to crouch into him. Start spamming crouch, and you can get some distance, and then start running. Okay? It took a little longer than usual, so that's a little scary. And we have made it to the double fat molded fight. Okay. I'm just going to show myself doing Sullivan skip while explaining it, and we'll just see what happens. So the first part's always the same. You want to make sure you switch the variable before they spawn in, by the way. And you want to get close to them so that they both throw up. Okay? There's always an herb in there. I don't really even use it, but you have to wait for them to stop throwing up, so I just grab it. So you can't just run enough to make the first guy throw up. You have to run within the range of the other molded to make sure that they are both throwing up. They always do a big throw up once they get within a certain range of you. So running forward and proccing it early means that they won't proc it when they're closer to you trying to set up the glitch. Okay? So the ramp is right in front of us. This is the ramp we're going to make one of them clip through. It comprises of, and again, this is all experimentation done by me. So if you think there might be a better way of doing this, knock yourself out, okay? This is all like very new stuff, so feel free to try it out yourself. So we're going to make sure they both go up the ramp, and then we are going to fall off once they are close to the top, and we're going to be at the top as well. We're going to fall off, and while the one at the top is falling off, we're going to make them basically hit our head and slide back towards the ramp, and they'll clip inside, okay? Some ways you can mess it up is if you get hit while you're trying to make them fall on your head. Because when you fall off, the other molded in the back will usually try to attack you, and so it can screw you up. And B, it could hit your head, and it could slide off in the opposite direction. Slide away from the ramp, okay? So let's just do it. Note, you don't want to be all the way at the top at first because he might decide to run forward, which will bump you off. Okay, so... Okay. So like I said, we got hit right as we went up. Wait, whenever you see a pattern where he's like running at the start, that's always bad. It's unfortunate. It happens. So I'm just making sure that he goes up. He has to be pretty high up on the ramp for it to work. Okay. And there he is. It does not matter which one you trap inside, because wherever one is left, you're going to get to here and trap him over here. Okay? But you see he's completely trapped inside that ramp. Just like that. Okay? And now the original way of doing this glitch was trapping one right here. And it's always good to see him run to it. If he runs to it, that's the most optimal way of doing it. And this one's a lot easier to set up. You just, if he is there, and you stand here, he just walks right in, and he's stuck as well. They are both stuck now. See? And then from there, we're just gonna proc all the explosions, and they can't do anything about it. Block that one, and then we just walk into the other two. Remember what I said? They deal 600 damage, but you weren't in danger yet, so you only go down to 1. Let me do it for the next bomb, and then we're done. So it took a second try this time. You want to get it first try, in theory. But there you have it. That is how you skip both fat and molded on Madhouse Knife Only. Just like that. Okay. Ta-da. Righto. If you want to see the original to do it, just pull up my world record and skip 1 minute and 30 seconds after I start attempting Sullivan skip. You can make another save here, but it doesn't really matter. I suggest you don't, because you're going to have an autosave before the Eveline fight. And right now it's just a big cutscene right now. If you're low in heals, you might have picked up that herb or that steroid. Feel free to take it, but at this point, as long as your health is full, steroid doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore. As long as your health is full. Okay? If your health is at like 400, then you will go down to danger, dodging the shockwaves. So that's why I say it's important to top up your health now. Let's just get through these cutscenes.
What? Ethan, it's okay.
Make sure you run up the stairs after triggering the next cutscene instead of running down the hallway. I've done that before. for no reason.
You shouldn't have
And the
done
Eveline
that.
fight's very simple, but it's very scary because she one-shots you.
It fucking hurts.
Does it want
So we'll
to
explain
be
a few
my daddy?
things, and then the ending.
He can die. Now it's mommy's
Note,
turn to
at the
kill
start of the
you.
run, Mia had the farm gardening fork or something, and she stabs her wrist, but at the end of the game in this flashback, it's still the standard screwdriver. They forgot to re-censor it at the end of the game.
I'm not playing.
No! Get that away from me!
Alright, and just in case you didn't know, Mia can't deal any damage to you. She actually doesn't hurt you at all. Because it's all fake.
Leave me to die.
Just in case anyone wanted to know. Don't do that on a run though, you'll lose a lot of time. Okay. And now for this part, we're gonna dodge the first... We're gonna block the first shockwave, and then get up against that wall. Okay? And then we just go straight to her. If you don't get up against that wall, you'll be knocked back really far, and you might not get to her. Okay, so make sure, block, make sure you get your back to that wall, and then block again, and then done. So now the Eveline fight, it's nothing crazy, but you get one-shotted if you mess up. So yeah. So basically, it's about counting the 6, except the first part I just kind of eyeball. I eyeball the first part and wait for a certain animation, and then wait half a second, and then run away. So it's about slash her until the animation, run away, then hit 6 times, run away, hit 6 times, run away, hit 6 times, run away. And she will die before she reaches the end of the room. So here we go. It's when she raises her head up in the air is the animation I'm looking for. So I'll show it to you. It's this animation right here, and then I run. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then she has now reached 0 health, and that's the fight. Now, I will show you the parts after this as well, but I will inform you that you can kill her a cycle early. So did you see there? She had 400 health at the very end, and I hit her 2 more times. Well, if you multi-hit her, so that means if I got 2 multi-hits in before the end of that fight, I would have ended the fight before that last rush forward, and it would have saved like 6 seconds. I don't even do this in my world record run because I knew I was going to world record without it. And I didn't want to take the chance of psyching myself out somehow. But I'm going to try to do it here. I'm going to show you what I attempt to do. I don't get it every time. But it's actually not that... It's like it doesn't add any more risk. It's just, instead of just blindly slashing her face, I kind of slash to the right, and I have a higher chance of multi-hitting. And remember, 2 multi-hits is all you need. And so, of course, the SRT is what comes in handy here. So normally I get 6 hits in, but if I see I can get a 7th hit in to finish the fight, well then it's worth getting that 7th hit in, and she won't kill you, instead she'll end the fight. So I'm just taking a second to show you this. Hopefully I can do it. I like kind of looking this way, and doing this, and you can get some multi-hits. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I didn't get the multi-hits, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I actually failed, but it is possible. So I'm not going to do it over and over again until it works, but when I was practicing it, it was definitely possible. You can kill her a rush forward early, is what I'm saying. And so the time it takes for her to rush forward, you to run away, then turn back and start hitting again is roughly 6 seconds. So it would save 6 seconds or so. Important to note. And if you didn't know, this whole sequence is a cutscene. This whole sequence up until when she grabs you with her arm and picks you up is just a cutscene. Nothing matters. So we're just vibing. And so I'll talk about when she picks you up.
You're just a little boy.
Just a little boy. When she picks you up, you have to hit her 10 times in the arm. Okay? Note, you can hit her 2 times before an additional cutscene starts and you get hit again. Right? So you get hit 2 times, get hit, and then you hit her 8 times. So I'm going to try to hit her 2 times here. 2. Wow, wait, I just did it. Okay. So I was gonna explain it afterwards because I was assuming I wasn't gonna get it, but it's possible to hit her 3 times if the first knife swing is very precise, and I got it there. So now I only have to hit her 7 times after these hits. Okay? Something to note again is that you can multi-hit this arm. I don't do it often, but I've destroyed this arm in like 8 hits before because I got 2 multi-hits during these slashes. So now it's going to take 7 more hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now for this last part, you don't want to be aiming. Okay, I literally lift my mouse up and hold it up to the camera if you watch my runs. Because if you are not aiming and just mashing click, you will always get the 4-shot kill. Okay, and by the way, you are allowed to pick this up in Knife Only, if you were curious. So my mouse is literally up in the air, and I have my index, I'm just holding it and just mashing click. And boom, 2004 hits every time. If you don't aim and mash click. Free time save. And boom. Just beaten Resident Evil 7 on Madhouse with just a knife. And an Albert as an assist, I guess. The Albert had the assist. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the guide. It was pretty informal. I feel like I might have gone a bit all over the place. Might have gone a little too in-depth on some of those boss fights, but like just from running it, I've just accrued so much. Like every run something new happens. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That was interesting. I'll keep that in mind. And then I keep that in run for future runs. So it takes a bunch of runs to accrue that kind of stuff, and then I kind of just divulge it all here. There's still plenty of potential for new stuff to be found, and of course, if you literally do my world record run, but don't make that mistake again, you will beat it by 1 minute and 30 seconds. So, yeah. Go crazy. If people start running this, I'll definitely come back and try to get a real world record, as in, me, myself, go for that 1 minute and 30 seconds time save myself. We'll have to see. Well, that's gonna be it. Oof. Hey, that feels like an oof, but that's literally 6th place. That is a 6th place time at the recording, as of the recording of this video. This is a 6th place Madhouse Knife Only time. So, you think if you can beat this, you'll be 5th place. Go crazy. Yep. Till next time. Till next time, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See ya.
Wow, you're amazing. Great job. Woohoo!